The Golden State Warriors have been playing some really good basketball as of late. They've been going with Draymond at the 5, and they've won 5 games straight since doing that. Logan, how much are you buying this turnaround?
I want all the Warriors stock. I said I think a week or two ago that I officially, after the trade deadline ended and the Lakers didn't make a move, they were stagnant. I said that I wanted the Warriors over LA. I wanted the Warriors over Phoenix. And I'm sticking with that. I'm stamped. Since Draymond came back overall, they're 8-4. They're 4th in offensive rating during that time, 5th in defensive rating, 2nd in net rating. And more specifically, in the 9 games where we've seen Dre at the 5, they've been 9th in offensive rating and 2nd in defensive rating. And I think Dre just kind of opens up everything else for Golden State and what they want to do. Playing Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins together is really imperative. And that's kind of the thing. You want your 5 best players out there. Klay Thompson is not playing like one of the 5 best players on the Warriors. So you need to figure out how to get these guys on the court together. And I like the Warriors recipe. You've got absurd superstar level Steph Curry, which I know, Carson, I said 2 weeks ago I would take LeBron. I am still taking LeBron, I think. But I'm completely I'm out on the Lakers, man. The Lakers just don't do it for me. They just...
Logan, just so you know, Pablo, he picked the Lakers to win the title preseason, and now he is completely out on them.
I was anticipating the Lakers making a game-changing move at the deadline, a complete roster overall.
They got Dinwiddie.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. My bad, guys. My bad. It's
if
over.
You want a guy who can give you 14 shots a night on 39% from the field and 31% from deep, you got him.
I thought this year's Lakers team was going to be a complete overhaul, reminiscent of the 2018 Cavs, you know what I mean, where everybody just got shipped out the door. I thought we were going to see them hold on to guys that they liked, and so ultimately I was disappointed. Because of the Lakers' inability to make a move, I'm rocking with the Dubs. You have superstar-level Steph Curry, who's been on a torrent recently. 33 points, man, like 14 threes a game on 44% from deep. You've got an emerging star in Jonathan Kuminga. I like their impactful athletic wing defenders, Kuminga and Wiggins. The bench has been underperforming recently, but I think they're really solid. And this is not me saying the Warriors are going to win the title, but I like them more than some of their other older contemporaries, like Phoenix and LA. I still think they lack an uber-dependable number 2, a legitimate floor spacer. Like, I think Klay Thompson has to play better for them to win a series or 2. I do think they lack physical and athletic advantages over other teams, but the one thing that I circle back to with the Dubs that I really like is that they have experience and that they have roster continuity. I don't know if LA is going to play hard in a one-game scenario in the in-season the in-season tournament. Excuse me. I saw the in-season tournament. They turned it up for that.
Champion.
They won that. Yeah,
for real. Hang the banners, guys. Hang all of them. I don't know if the Lakers are going to be able to show up consistently enough effort-wise when it comes down to it. I don't know if the Suns are going to be able to reach a high enough defensive ceiling to win a round or get in there. So give me the team that has been there the most, that has the roster continuity, that has a top 5 guy that I'm taking for a playoff run. I want to buy back in on my Warriors stock. And I'll say this too. I know we talked about this briefly on Jason's show, Carson. If we get a hypothetical Thunder or Timberwolves matchup against Golden State out of the play-in, I'm taking Golden State.
Oh,
Pablo, what do you think?
I'm in on Golden State. I thought they would be better before the season started.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like the worst defense ever. And but now they're finally putting the pieces back together. And when you list out all the guys, it's a team full of names that you like, but they just haven't been playing up to their standard. But like, it's when you like take full account of their roster and you think like, okay, Chris Paul's gonna be coming back soon. Did Gary Payton come back already? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
last couple games.
So he's back, and he's been like a positive for them whenever he plays, right?
Yeah.
And so he's a big time. He's basically like a center for them, kind of. He's like a lockdown defender. He's great for them. And the Steph, Podziemski, Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond lineup is obliterating people, and it's like the number 1 offense, number 1 defense in like limited possessions or whatever. But you got to think, like, if you play that starting lineup and then you get Chris Paul healthy, and then maybe Klay Thompson agrees to come off the bench, and then you have Gary Payton, and then you have Trace Jackson Davis, and you have Saric, and like the overall that sounds okay to me. So I don't know if they're actual contenders yet, but they're kind of like the Chiefs, where like it's like if Mahomes is on the roster, I'm thinking they're a contender. If good Steph Curry is on the roster, and Draymond Green has not declined really, like he may not be in peak form, but he is still one of the best defenders in the NBA, and he missed a bunch of time, so it makes sense that their defense was so bad. And they still have Looney. I didn't even mention Looney. So they have guys, and it's just hard for me to count them out. So I still feel good about them. When it comes to the specific playoff matchups, I don't know. It would be crazy to see them versus Minnesota, because then it's just 2015 all over again. It's like we're gonna beat you with small ball, and it's like, no, they're too big.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, they're going back to their roots, and I definitely think that it makes them the best version of themselves right now. I think that they had to get more athletic on the wings, and I just think Looney ultimately is not providing enough in terms of that athleticism as a big, and is going to give issues in terms of your spacing offensively. And these are just lineups that have been killing it. Like you mentioned it, Pablo, that 5 with Pods in there instead of Clay has been plus 38 in terms of net rating in just 90 minutes. But like, that is obscene. But even with Clay in there, that small ball 5 has a plus 17 net rating in 116 minutes, and they have been clamping people up. So it's real improvement, and I do think that you feel the difference in terms of perimeter athleticism and skill. And I do really like having Pods in there, because he brings that extra dimension of a guy who's really comfortable handling and playmaking. But Clay, at least, is going to be a very high-level shooter, and so the spacing value there is really real. And Draymond just changes the game. Like, Draymond has always changed the game. Draymond, so historically underrated, and sure enough, him being back and him holding down this small ball lineup has made this a different basketball team. Overall on the year, the Dubs are outscoring teams by 6 points per 100 when he plays. They're 15-12 when he plays. Like, they're a good basketball team with Draymond. They're a bad basketball team without him. And even though he's not at his peak in terms of athletic tools, he's never been more efficient as a scorer. This is the best he's been as a shooter since 2016. Like, that's been consistent all year.
Still? Is he still at 40 or no?
He's 40% from deep. So, changes how you guard the Dubs, man. And it especially changes things when you consider that now you don't have a non-shooting 5 out there like Looney. Like, this spacing right now is heavenly. It's always been, if you run Steph, Dre pick and roll, then you have the 4-on-3, but it's like there's going to be a guy in the dunker spot. Right now, at times he's attacking just these totally clean paints where there's no low man, because you have to stay attached to everybody on the perimeter. And it gives more room for a guy like Kuminga, who we know has been so effective attacking in isolation and on post-ups with his athleticism. He's got cleaner paints to attack. Like, this team is just looking much better offensively. He helps things flow so much, like conducting those off-ball actions. He just really, truly changes the game for them. And defensively, obviously, he's phenomenal. I do still think that the fundamental weaknesses for this team are the same. And I always thought that they would be better than they have been, because it's like you mentioned, Pablo, like you look at the names and it's like, all right, well, this is a team that got bounced in the second round last year, and now their depth is significantly better. I liked the young guys. The young guys have been delivering. Like, how is it that they were underachieving so much? And really, Wiggins and Clay disappointing and Looney not playing so well are kind of the key factors there. I think that this gives them their best shot to win. And against the Suns or the Clippers or the Thunder, any team that doesn't have like a really big physical bruising front court, I say go for it. Now you have more offensive pop. You still don't have that second creator, but you have more athleticism, more guys who can handle, more shooting on the floor. I just worry about it against like the really big teams. Like Paulo, you mentioned back in 2015, that was the narrative, but that was a little bit different. That team was a little bit different. Turns out that now we're in a league where it's like teams are able to blend that huge size with the kind of skill that historically a small ball lineup provided. Now you have a center who is 280 pounds that can run your offense, and you have a guy who's 6'10 and shoots 40% from 3 from whatever angle off the catch in MPJ. So, like, that's just what scares me. And the Lakers, Logan, I still think the two superstar combination, the much bigger, more athletic, stronger, more physical front court with the secondary shot creation, that scares me. The T-Wolves, I mean, I worry about their half-court offense and their clutch offense in particular, but they are so much bigger, and I worry about what Ant can do. I mean, Dre's going to hold down the paint, but what Cat can do attacking some of those slider forwards.
They beat up the Clippers small ball lineup the other day, didn't they?
Yeah, but I just think the Clippers have significantly more basketball talent. And at the end of the day, it's like when you have 3 shot creators and offensive hubs the caliber of Kawhi and PG and Harden. I can't
they
bet
shut
against
down
that.
the Clippers, yeah. With
Yeah, but
their...
I'm saying it like over a series in a playoff setting.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm just thinking like in terms of Minnesota versus Golden State. Yeah, I'd probably still bet on the Clippers to win a series between those two.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's fun, dude. Like, I'm glad the Warriors are playing good basketball because I've been holding out hope and waiting. Like, it was a bummer for a good portion of this year. Like, they looked old and sad and angry. And now they're doing what they do, and it's fun.
They just need Wiggins back. If Wiggins can get 36% from 3, I don't know. Maybe things are looking up.
He's at least been, like, knocking down his shots in the last handful of games. He's been pretty good from deep. I think he might be 50% from deep on this win streak. I mean, that's small-ass sample size, obviously, but it's encouraging.
All-Star Andrew Wiggins. Was that last year or was that 2 years
2 years ago. 2 years ago. All-Star Andrew Wiggins. Was he All-Star starter Andrew Wiggins?
Yes.
Yeah, because he got fan voted because the K-pop guy said vote for Andrew Wiggins.
That's awesome.
Earned.
Seriously.